It's Tuesday morning. Your team handed you Claude output. It's brand safe, grammatically clean. It could have been written by literally anyone. Now you have to rewrite it before the chief marketing officer sees it. And here's the thing nobody on YouTube will tell you. The team didn't fail. The tutorial they followed did. It was never built for the work you actually ship. Now, I've spent 20 years inside Fortune 500 marketing and driven 9 figures in pipeline on an annual basis. In the last few years, I sit at a senior operator seat. And trust me, I've watched the same YouTube tutorials. They didn't work for me either. So here are the 4 things the AI bros won't tell you. The 4 moves that change what your team actually delivers when they sit down with Claude on Monday. But before any of that, one move you could try this afternoon. Open Claude, don't write a prompt, write a brief instead. 5 lines. Who's the audience? What's the goal? What's the constraint? What's the brand voice? What cannot ship? Then ask Claude to do the work. That one shift, brief instead of prompt, will change your output more than any tutorial you've watched in 6 months. It only costs you 4 minutes. Try it tonight, then come back, and I'll show you the whole system. All right, let's get into it. I want to tell you about a moment that crystallized this for me. Picture a Tuesday stand-up. Marketing ops lead with 15 years in MarTech. Knows the company's Marketo instance better than anyone on the team. This is the kind of person who should be leading AI deployment. He had spent the weekend on a Claude code tutorial. Some YouTube guy walked him through building an agent that pulls leads from the CRM, scores them, then pushes them back into the Marketo instance as a segment. He got a run on his laptop that morning, shares the screen, and ready to show the team what's possible. Then it all starts to unravel. The agent can't connect to the production Marketo. Security would never approve that setup. The scoring logic uses fields the company doesn't have, and anything it pulls needs legal review before it even touches a campaign. So by the end of the demo, he wasn't showing the team what was possible. He was showing the team a list of reasons none of it would ever work. And watching one of the strongest technical operators in the room realize his whole weekend was built on advice that doesn't survive contact with a real marketing org. That's when something clicked. And once I saw it, I started seeing it everywhere. The people teaching marketers about Claude have never actually had to deploy anything inside a real marketing organization. They've never shipped a campaign through a brand review. They've never had a legal red flag. They never had the chief marketing officer ask, where did this come from and who approved it? So when their advice hits your actual reality, it doesn't bend, it breaks. And here's the part that should scare you. The cost isn't a bad demo. The cost is that your strongest technical operator just spent his weekend on something he can't use. And the next time a Claude video shows up in his feed, he sure ain't clicking it. And that's the real damage, not the failure, the disengagement. And it's not just him, it's almost everybody at this level. Let me show you why. Let me paint the version that actually works. Picture it's Thursday morning, you're at your desk, you got Claude open. No agent, no code, no 5 integration tool pipeline, no whole weekend spent on automation that your IT team would block anyway. Just the chat window and you. Let's say you're working on a brief for a lifecycle campaign. Spend 20 minutes on the brief. The audience, you feed it the last 3 campaigns, you feed it the brand voice, the constraints that this email has to go out to enterprise buyers and not solopreneurs. You ask Claude to do the work, and the output comes back, and it sounds like you actually wrote it. Your campaign manager reviews it, and she doesn't ask if it's AI. She asks, who's leveling up? Your team can do the same thing. Nobody needs IT approval. Nobody needs a tutorial that requires a degree. The AI is visible in the output, and that's really the goal. Because somebody who knows marketing briefed it like a senior contractor and not like a Google search. The version of you that pulls this off isn't the marketer who learned Claude code. It's the marketer who used what was already in front of you and used it pretty well. And that's the move nobody on YouTube is teaching. And let me show you why. Here are 4 things that AI bros are getting wrong about Claude. Each one is a reason senior marketers are standing still, and each one has a different consequence inside a real marketing organization. Mistake number 1, The AI bros assume solo workflows. The Claude videos you've watched were built for someone with no stakeholders. They build agents that authenticate to one Gmail account. They write prompts that produce output that just magically get posted somewhere. No reviews, no approvals, no brand check, no legal reviews. Corporate marketing has security on every API, brand has standards your output has to meet, and legal has a review process that takes days, not minutes. And your sales ops controls what actually touches the CRM. And your chief marketing officer has an opinion about what ships, word for word. The tutorial works on a laptop with none of these guardrails. You take any of them away and the whole demo collapses. So when you tried to apply it inside your org and it broke, you weren't failing. The tutorial was failing the second you opened up your laptop. And now you can stop blaming yourself for tutorials that were never built to work in your reality. Mistake number 2. The AI bros frame Claude AI as a replacement. Senior operators frame it as a multiplier. And this is a different mental model, and it produces completely different deployment decisions. The AI bros tell you Claude AI does the work of these marketers. However, the senior operator understands your 3 marketers know things that Claude AI does not. They know your customers. They know which campaigns died last year and why. They know your sales team's actual objections. They know your brand voice, and not as a document, as a feeling. I saw a teammate running Claude AI generated emails past me last month. They were technically clean and grammatically correct, and they referenced a customer pain point we had specifically deprioritized in our positioning like 8 months ago. Claude AI didn't know that. Nobody outside the team would even know that. And that's the senior marketer's job, is to be that layer of context that AI does not have access to. So Claude AI doesn't replace what your team knows, it actually multiplies what your team already has a feeling for. And if your team knows how to brief it, that's a different skill than prompting. And that's the one senior marketers actually have. And now you can answer your chief marketing officer when they ask how Claude AI fits within the team you already have. Mistake number 3. The AI bros teach you to skip the brief. Just prompt Claude. Just build an agent. Just run this workflow. The prompt is the easy part. The brief is where the actual work happens. And that's what we're doing. Why? For whom? What does success look like? What can't we ship? What's the constraint? Who has to approve it? And remember the move I told you about at the start? Write a brief, not a prompt? This is why. That move is the entire difference between senior marketing and AI tutorial content. The brief is the senior marketer's actual job. It's what 20 years of experience buys you. The AI bros skip it because they don't have stakeholders. You do. The marketer who can brief Claude ships work that lands. The marketer who can only prompt Claude ships work that gets rewritten. And the difference between those 2 marketers, that's the entire game. And now you can tell in 30 seconds which marketer is which. Mistake number 4. The AI bros sell complexity. Senior operators buy simplicity. And this is the one nobody talks about, and here's why. The AI bros need you to believe Claude Code is the answer. They need you to believe agents are the answer. They need you to believe integrating Claude with like 5 tools is the answer. Because if you believe the actual truth, that the Claude chat window used by someone who knows marketing is actually doing about 80% of what those tutorials promised, and they couldn't sell you anything. There's no course for open Claude AI and brief it well. There's no agent built for ask better questions, and there's no integration pipeline for simply do the work. That's the thing I said. Nobody in the YouTube wants you to know, and here it is. You probably don't need Claude Code. You probably don't need an AI agent. You probably don't need to integrate Claude with 5 tools. Most of the value those tutorials promise, the strategy work, the customer research, the campaign analysis, the writing that sounds like a marketer actually wrote it, it's all sitting inside the chat window. The senior marketers I know who are actually winning with Claude right now, they never tried to learn Claude Code. They just opened up Claude, they used it well, that's it. Test every AI move against the number it's supposed to move. If it doesn't change the pipeline, doesn't move the revenue, doesn't reduce cost, it's just a hobby. The Claude Code build is a hobby until it ships. The agent thing is a hobby until it ships. And trust me, in a real organization, most of them never ship. The chat window already shipped. Use it. And now you know the thing nobody else was going to tell you. You don't need their tools. You just need your own judgment. Real quick, if this is the first AI video you found that wasn't built for solopreneurs, subscribe. Every video on this channel is for marketers who actually have to deliver results. And here's what changes when you stop standing still. You stop trying to learn Claude code. You stop watching those AI agent demos. You stop bookmarking integration tutorials you're never actually going to set up. And you stop letting the AI bros decide what doing AI actually looks like. And you start using what's actually in front of you. Open Claude AI. Brief it like a senior contractor. Read the output like a senior editor, not like a junior user. And send it back if it's not right, iterate, and ship. The marketer, the one who stopped waiting for the right tutorial, that's the marketer their CMO trusts when the AI question comes up. Because they have an answer that survives a budget meeting. Because they're not pitching AI agents, they're pitching actual outcomes. Because when your leadership asks, what's our AI strategy? They don't say, we're evaluating Claude code. They say, here's the work AI is doing for us right now. Here's what it cost. Here's what it's moved. Right now, most senior marketers in your peer group are standing still. 6 months in, the technically strongest ones, the ones who should be winning at AI, are quite the ones doing the least because nobody built the on-ramp for them. The version of you that doesn't stand still, the ones who just opens Claude and uses it well, that's the marketer 6 months ahead of every peer in their organization. Not because they figured out Claude code first, because they didn't need to. And that's the senior operator their CMO trusts on AI. Those are the ones who didn't wait for permission to figure it out. The one who stopped standing still. Talk to senior marketers right now and you'll hear the same pattern. Watch the Claude code videos, got excited about the AI agent demos, bookmarked all the integration tutorials. No, Claude put how to hook up Claude into Gmail, how to hook up Claude to HubSpot, how to hook up Claude to run 5, 6 different tools at the same time. Some have tried, some have spent weekends on it, and almost all of them have hit the same wall. The tutorial works on a laptop with no security review, no brand, no legal, no data governance, no production CRM. Take any of those away and the demo falls apart. So what happens? You don't try the next tutorial. You don't try the one after that. And 6 months in, the technically strongest senior marketers, the ones who should be leading the AR conversation at their companies, are quietly doing the least. And not because they couldn't, but because nobody built the on-ramp for you. And that's the cost of inaction. And here's the cost, the one I told you about in the hook. A year from now, the marketers who quietly started using Claude well, just the chat window, used right, they're the ones running point on AI inside their orgs. These are the ones the CMOs trust. These are the ones in the strategy meetings when the budget actually gets decided. The marketers who waited for a tutorial that fit them, who watched the Claude code video, decided it was too complicated and never came back, they explained why their team is behind. They're the ones whose junior marketers are quickly out shipping them on AI work that's worse, admittingly, but more visible. They're the ones who got past. That's the cost, not a bad output. It's a career trajectory you don't see until it's too late. And the good news, the entire reason I made this video, the on-ramp is so much smaller than they've been telling you. It's not Claude code. It's not AI agents. It's simply just the chat window. It's a brief. It's the thing you spent 20 years of marketing preparing to do. You don't need to learn AI. You need to apply marketing to AI. That's the difference. And one of them is something nobody on YouTube can sell you. And one thing before I let you go, if you had to send your team one rule about using Claude AI, what would it be? Drop it in the comments. I read these. The answer tells me a lot about whether the person watching has stopped standing still or not. Tell me your rule and I'll respond to the ones that catch my eye. And here's where this leaves you. You don't need to learn Claude code. You don't need an AI agent. And you don't need to integrate 5 tools. You need to simply just open up Claude, brief it well, and use what your experience has already taught you. And that's the move.